Another question was, what if survival is only a doorway and not the destination? And if I look at it like that in hindsight, I could compare it to the birthing process. Going into, first of all, the 9 months of gestation, baby growing within inside you, compared it to my life growing. And then the different things that I felt, the first trimester, the first 3 months were difficult as far as morning sickness, not feeling myself. The second trimester was more about getting used to having this other soul, spirit entity inside me. And the third trimester was me just, not just my body, but emotionally getting ready to meet and interact with the soul that I would be responsible for at least 18 years. So that survival mode, if I look back on it, I could compare it to that. And then the actual birthing process, the labor, the hours of labor, my body adjusting itself, and getting ready to open and have this physical being pass through me. If I look back on my survival lifestyle, I could compare it to that and actually see that the survival mentality was not the destination. It was the doorway to me being birthed into a new realm, a new body, a new mindset. And so I could see the comparison and the birthing process. I don't know for anybody else. For me, it was exceptionally difficult and challenging. I had big babies, although I've heard that the bigger babies help in the birthing process because they help push themselves out rather than my body doing all of the work. So if I look at where I am today compared to where I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, definitely 20, 30 years ago, when my lifestyle, my mental, physical, spiritual, emotional was all-consuming survival, day-to-day lifestyle. And if all that happened to get me to where I am today, I could definitely compare it to the being pregnant and then the birthing process. Once the birthing process is done, I read that it takes at least 2 years for a woman's body to completely heal from that whole process. So it's not like, oh, you give birth and you're good to go and you can go out and run a marathon. It takes time. It takes a process. And so even though I'm not in the survival mode and the survival instinct now, things still creep up as part of this survival doorway, not the survival destination, to either test me to see if I'm really over it, or it comes up again in order to get rid of it completely. So could survival be a doorway rather than a destination? Absolutely. If I absolutely look back on my life, it was definitely a doorway. Although while I was in it, I wasn't aware of it. While I was in it, I was all consumed in making it through, like I said, the last video, the next second, the next hour, the next day. That was definitely all consuming within myself. I might not have always shown it on the outside. So yeah, I would definitely say in my life, the survival lifestyle, the survival mentality was definitely the doorway to get me to where I am today. And where I am today might just be another doorway for me to be who I'm supposed to be tomorrow or the next day. And if it was a doorway, I can't actually say that it was a doorway to my true purpose, because I don't know if I believe in that anymore, that I have to have a purpose and that's why I'm here, unless my only purpose is to be happy and enjoy life. Maybe feeling like having a purpose. Maybe that's that savior syndrome, like I have to save the world, or I have to do this, or I have to do that. So, and looking at it, if survival for me, which I do think it is now that I think about it, was a doorway, it was an exhausting process, you know, but it got me to where I am today, so I can actually be grateful. It made me who I am today, and for that I can be grateful, and I feel blessed. There's certain things that I can do without thinking. My hands tied behind my back, blindfolded, I can do, which is also a blessing. And even today, when challenges come up and things come up that I may have to figure out or I'm confronted with, I no longer look at it from the standpoint of I have to survive this. It's now from the standpoint of what can I create from this? And I think that's the major difference. When I was in survival mode, I was, we're all creators. We're all co-creators, and everything that we do at any given second creates the domino effect and whatever, but I wasn't conscious of it. And now that I'm out of the survival mode, I can become a conscious creator rather than creating by default. So that's about my perspective on is survival a doorway. No, survival is a doorway and not the destination. Anyway, thank you for watching. Once again, out on a locksmith job.